you don't worry much about the skills, right? Most of you are not worried about the skills at the moment. You are only worried about the marks, getting the first rank or getting the first class, how to teach a child to get marks. All these things you will be doing it in the class. Child's development should happen not only from the brain, not only from the physical parts, but also other parts like friendship, like affection, love, all these things that will come under affective. That is not given in your textbook. Will tell you how your child should share the food with other child. No lesson will tell you how both, whether a Muslim boy or a Hindu boy or somebody, we are Brahmins, but we did not worry about it because in DM school there was a kind of a social interaction where children used to play, mix and play. This was missing in many schools. One thing that normally we don't do will be the third one called affective domain. Cognitive domain means all the knowledge, understanding, application, all these things what you do in your classroom for the purpose of examination, for the purposes of marks, to take the child to write the examination, get highest marks, everything connected to the brain. That is especially the cognitive means the one that is conscious level. What a child can remember, what a child can write in the examination. For that you will be preparing yourself using the textbook, using anything available to you in the form of textbooks in the first one called the cognitive domain. When you go to the second one called psychomotor, that means skills. These skills again are not, you don't worry much about the skills, right? Most of you are not worried about the skills at the moment. You are only worried about the marks, getting the first rank or getting the first class, how to teach a child to get marks. All these things you will be doing it in the class. Skills refers to other things. One important thing I would like to tell you would be one is social skill. How the children, a school like yours, in Mysore there are about umpteen number of schools today, but some schools are known for many things. For example, if you think of Excel software school, Excel school, there only one type of students will go to that place, where parents are able to pay 10 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 20 lakhs. There are some schools, government schools, where children go with no money at all. Like this, various types of schools are there. When you think of skills, each school will have a different way to help the children to learn the skills. In your school, perhaps, your school is a highly mixed culture school. A school where started by XYZ, and many children come from all sections of society here. Some are poor, maybe some are rich, but you must try to teach children social skills. Now what are they? I will not be able to tell you right now because I said it is paucity of time. I request Dr. Zakir Hussain to give me one morning session full where we start at 10 o'clock, we will have a break at 11 o'clock and we continue until 1 o'clock, where I can talk more about those skills. And the next one which I am going to touch upon today is the affective area. Affective area is the area so far NCERT has not done anything, DSCERT has not done anything, and in our country until Rajiv Gandhi's new policy education came, this NEP is Modi's education policy. What I am talking earlier was Rajiv Gandhi's new education policy that came in 1987. Then we talked about affective domain. That means where a child's development should happen not only from the brain, not only from the physical parts, but also other parts like friendship, like affection, love, all these things that will come under affective. That is not given in your textbooks. No textbook will tell you how your child should share the food with other child. No lesson will tell you how both, whether a Muslim boy or a Hindu boy or somebody, will share their food. I remember in DM school, earlier in 1970s, children used to share their food without anything. My daughter used to take the food, and when she comes, I used to say, what is that you have in your plate or in your box? A piece of chicken. I said, how did you get it? My friend gave me, I ate it. We are Brahmins, but we did not worry about it, because in DM school there was a kind of a social interaction where children used to play, mix and play. This was missing in many schools. Therefore, in 1987, first new policy of education came, and they made about affective domain. I will not go details. I will not take you now. I will just tell you. Sir, only I am getting half. Other half I am not getting. I don't know why. Okay. Now today, just I will introduce you to one thing. You please remember. Today we will not worry much about the cognitive area. That is the area where textbook information is available in plenty. You can get, whether you teach or not, children will pass the examination. You take it from me. You don't have to teach anything to a child. Make the children to read their textbook. They will read, they will complete the examination, because they have Google, they have ChatGPT today. In everything, you get every information regarding the textbook. But one thing no ChatGPT will give you is inner growth. Inner growth refers to not the body muscles or six-pack muscles. No. If you think of the girls today, you see in the girls in the YouTube, their growth, their fashion is very different. I am not talking of that inner growth. I am talking of the growth of the heart. Inner growth refers to growth of the heart. So in that heart, what is that you can give to children in the school for development of the heart? Again, I am not a cardiac specialist to talk about the heart. I am not talking about the functioning of the heart, but what heart can tell a child. That is what we call inner wisdom. I will tell you, give an example. How many, if a small fruit is given to two students in the school, one fruit which is spoiled, one fruit that is very good, to a class, one child, and ask a child to eat the fruit, which fruit the child will select? Good one. Who taught that child? Who taught that was a good? That is the inner wisdom. That means all of us are born with the inner wisdom. That inner wisdom is not tapped by the school. School will never, teachers will never tap that inner wisdom. And that is the thing that we have to do today. So most of the thing that what we do in the classroom, we only do it for the examination. So in 40 minutes of time, your time, you plan your lesson in such a way, at least 5 minutes of your 40 minutes, you have to give for development of wisdom. To do the wisdom, to develop the wisdom, what is it you have to do? It is not given in the book. Nobody will teach you, but what is that you can do it? I will only tell you one thing. Please put one open-end question, one in each class. If you go to 5 class as a teacher, in each class, whether you teach social science, or you teach mathematics, or you teach science, anything you do, even physical education teacher, put one open-end question to the child where no answer is available. You will not get in ChatGPT, you will not get in Google, you will not get in any textbook, but the question should be there. One example I will give you that. When you look at the flower, morning it will be a bud. By the time the child comes from school, it will open into flower. You ask the child a question, open question, how the flower understood and how it opened, what made it open. The answer will not be there. But like that, if the school start asking open questions like that, no answer is required for that. You need not think of an answer for that question. Just open question. So every teacher, if you have 5 periods of a classroom teaching, if you ask 5 questions per day, you can imagine in 1 week there will be 35 questions for a child. They are open questions. The questions for which no answer will be possible. I will give one example from DM school, if you permit me. I was teaching class 6 science in 1971. Remember that? 71, class 6. I was teaching food, balanced diet. One little girl called Arati, she asked me a question, "Sir, how would a cockroach get its food?" I am an MSc graduate. I did not know how to answer that question to her. I knew the cockroaches were moving, we hit the cockroach, we kill it, we throw it. But I never thought how it gets its food. That is one simple open question asked by a child. So even if you don't ask, if you permit the children to ask questions, 5 minutes, they will ask questions to you for which you may not have any answer. That is tapping the wisdom. So the wisdom what the child has, if you don't tap it, children will only become blanks. That means they copy the answer, they mug the answer, they write the answer, they get 90% marks in the examination. That goes on. But when I say inner wisdom, it has many things. As I told you earlier, time is running very short. It is not the time for me to talk the other things because all the teachers are exhausted today since morning. It's not the right time to talk. So I will just make one more attempt and then close this talk. Next.